Okay. All right. So yeah, I think what I honestly one of the first things I wanted to talk about is I know I'm not close to finishing Persona. I feel like I'm like halfway through finishing Persona. Um maybe half. What am I, like 40 something hours in, and the game is like 80 to 90 hours long depending on how soap brain you are. Um but I wanted to look at what was releasing and we can see if there's anything interesting. If not, I mean, like, obviously I'll probably play. You are not? Okay, well, anyway, I wanted to talk about what I could play after Persona. I don't know, like, anything about Yakuza 6. Is this game, like, do you have to know what's going on in the other games to, like, know? Or is this, like, I know there's different Yakuza games, or, like, there's different Yakuza games for, like, different parts in the timeline, and I know like Yakuza 0 is like a prequel to all the other Yakuza games, and it's like a little convoluted. Not, I mean, maybe not convoluted, but a little convoluted. I may want to try this game out. It should be coming out April 17th. That's coming out soon, actually. I mean, I won't be done with. I mean, I definitely won't be done with Persona 5 by then. That's in 7 days, but you know, if I want to stay on that JRPG fucking hype train, Yakuza 6 may not be a bad idea. Just because I've watched people play it, and it just looks like a fun game. There's Yakuza 6. There's God of War, which I'm just don't care about. The fucking Nintendo Labo. I forget. Is this the fucking cardboard? It is. Man, I wonder about, like, the logistics of this. Like, how quickly kids are gonna, like, destroy their Labo. The fucking cardboard. Like, how fucking fast are they going to destroy that shit? I'm just gonna look up something on Yakuza 6 real quick. Let's see. All right. So I mean, we got a little video. I mean, we can just see what's going on. I don't know anything about this game at all. Let me see if I. Maybe we shouldn't have music, just because if we're gonna be like checking out videos and shit, then it probably is gonna be annoying to mute the music all the time. I've always like the combat looked so like wacky in Yakuza 6 or in any of the Yakuza games. It just looked so wacky and like fun. Just the world itself seems like so fucking wacky. Like, I've never played a game like this before in like this type of setting. I know nothing about like Japanese like gangster culture or anything like that. So it would be like nice to fucking like explore. Well, it's an RPG. it's not a classic JRPG, but it's an RPG. It has a lot of RPG things. Like, I mean, I would assume it's an RPG. There's leveling up and stats, and there's relationships and a lot of RPG elements. I don't know what else you would call this other than an RPG. I mean, it's probably more akin to like an action RPG than like a JRPG. It's not turn-based. Does JRPG mean turn-based? That's kind of a cool fucking collector's kit. Everything has leveling up. I would I don't know how else this is anything but an RPG. Look, the stats and like battle skills and fucking equipment in this screen right here. And like, I don't know, man. Yakuza 0 is a good starting point. That's what I mean. Yeah, everyone says it's a good starting point. I just don't know if I want to like play Yakuza 0 and then like I don't know where this game lands in the Yakuza world. Why does it say it came out in 2016? This game isn't out yet. Although I may just have to. Like, Yakuza 0 is apparently, like, a fantastic game. Um, if this game, like, lands in a point in the timeline, though, I'd rather just play this because it's the newest one. I mean, yeah. I guess I didn't realize that JRPG meant it had to be, like, turn-based. I just thought JRPG meant it was an RPG made by a Japanese company. I didn't know that it meant like it had to be like this like stringent type of game with like turn based and shit like that. I guess it's more like an RPG, an action RPG set in Japan made by a Japanese company. Anyway, this game, regardless, I don't care about what genre it is. It just looks good. Watching people play through, I didn't watch like full playthroughs of like Yakuza 0, but like watching people play it though, like here and there, this game looks really fucking fun. Oh, actually, there's gameplay of it because this game's been out in Japan already. That explains it. That explains why there's gameplay from like 2016 because this game's been out in Japan already. It's just not released in America yet. It's more like GTA with a lot more RPG elements. I've heard that people who actually played this game think that it is a poor comparison to compare this game to GTA. Like, I guess the only thing you can like really say that makes it GTA-ish is like, is this dude just like walking around? Is that it's like you're a gangster. Like that's like as far as you can go in terms of like calling it like a GTA type game. But apparently the story itself is very like it's like it kind of contrasts how wacky everything else is in the game. And that like it is very, very, very sad and like real life shit. At least so from what I understand in Yakuza. I've watched a couple of like videos and read about the games and they're like the story itself is like very intense. Like there's Yakuza 0. This was like the prequel game. Yakuza 0. Okay, I thought this was like a timeline thing, but it's just random games. I'd have to look up what the Yakuza game order. Like, let me see. Okay. So I found this. Yeah, I guess it's a good way to get like normies' heads around it. So this is like what you play after you finish Yakuza 0, which like I keep mentioning is like a prequel game. I guess you'd play like Yakuza, then Yakuza 2. So it's literally like in like the story follows like the numbers. That's what I was unsure of. Like by the numbers I mean like in the title, like I guess it follows it chronologically. I wasn't sure if it was like one of those games where like like halfway into like the lineup it would like take you back in time or like take you into the future and then like there's been a lot of like weird convoluted series out there. So I guess if I really wanted to play, I could play 0 and then 6. Fucking Metal Gear. I could play 0 then 6, or I'm sure there's like a catch-up video out there and I can just play 6. I just want to play a Yakuza game. I just don't know if I want to play 2 Yakuza games in a row. just because they're long, or they can be long. There's like a lot of side stuff to do, which looks like a lot of fun, but it's like, I know I'll just sink a ton of time into it. So Yakuza 6 is probably something I will look into more. I may have to like watch like a catch-up video on it. Not really anything else in April catches my attention. Just Yakuza 6. May, Conan Exiles? What the fuck? This game wasn't this game like early access like 2 years ago, and then it had like all that buzz around like the Ark survival evolved times and like Rust, and then everyone stopped playing it. Like it was literally popular because like there was boob physics and shit, and like there was like naked like cave women running around and like dicks. Yeah, like barbarian dicks and shit. Like it was literally popular because it was people were just like, oh, look, they have dicks. Like it was, yeah. Pillars of Eternity 2. I probably won't stream this because it's Pillars of Eternity, and that's like a CRPG, and streaming CRPGs is incredibly boring, but I had no idea they were making a second one. Endowment Slider, yeah. I had no idea they were making a second Pillars of Eternity. I have the first one. I've never beaten it, but I've played a decent amount of it. It's coming to like Xbox and everything. I mean, they had I'm pretty sure that Pillars of Eternity 1 was like a huge Kickstarter success. I probably won't play it, but oh, I accidentally exited out of the list. 2018 game releases. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. All right. So yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. Dragon Crown. I don't know what that is. Little Witch Academia. This looks like some weeb shit. Sounds like some weeb shit. It has no pictures or anything. 3DS, Switch. Data Decay 2. I never played the first one, but I remember the first one was really popular. I remember the first Data Decay was like super fucking popular. An anime game and it has a show. I mean, like, I don't know what it is. I'd have to look into it. I'd have to Google it. This is just me just browsing the list real quick. Dark Souls Remaster. This seems just like a waste of money if I was to get this. Like, I would have no problem just like playing through Dark Souls. Like, just zero problem playing through Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls 1. I've beaten it a lot. I used to speedrun it and everything. Or I tried to speedrun it. But buying the remastered, like watching the videos, like the video comparisons of Dark Souls Remastered, it doesn't look worth it. Let me see if I can find a video. Here we go. Like, this does not look worth it to me. And I guess this is on PS4, but like, okay, they made the little wispies look a little nicer. The dude kind of like crunched the fucking video up, so it's a little compressed. The lighting is a little like, I don't even know if you could argue that the lighting itself is better. It's just different lighting. I kind of like how dark Dark Souls 1 was, if that makes sense. In this, it's like they just kind of turned up the contrast a little bit. I mean, it's clearer, but like, do you want your Dark Souls world to be clearer? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Dark Souls looking dark and like muddy. It's not even that dark and muddy. This video I don't think is the best comparison. Oh, there we go. Here's some full screen stuff. Never mind. Oh. We're on, like... That's Prepare to Die edition. Yeah, I think that that getting the Dark Souls remastered is literally only useful for anyone who's never played Dark Souls before. This amount of upgrade is not worth it for me. If they like, I know it's a remaster, it's not like a remake of the game, but if they like added some stuff to the game, or like, you know, maybe moved some stuff around, or did something to make the experience new for someone like me, I would totally play it and spend the money to play it. You know, buying the game twice pretty much. But you know, that's not what this is. This is just a graphical overhaul, and that's it. That's all it's ever going to be, which is fine, not a big deal. But meh. Detroit Become Human. People are like excited for this game. I don't really care that much. My birthday is actually on May 26th, right after the game, right after the game comes out. Everspace, I don't know what that is. And I mean, June is it's pushing it a little bit. I would totally play Mario Tennis if I had a Switch, 100%. I loved, on the Xbox 360, there was like, I think it was like a Sega like tennis game, and it had like Sonic and a couple of other like Xbox characters and stuff that you could like. It was like a tennis game, and that was like actually pretty good. I actually had a lot of fun. Dark Souls isn't really old enough for a major overhaul graphically. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's totally a cash grab from FromSoft. They just know that people will jerk off Dark Souls. I mean, Dark Souls is, in my opinion, like the Legend of Zelda of like the 2000s. When did like I might be stupid to say, when was like the first like circle jerk like Legend of Zelda game come out? What is it, like probably Ocarina of Time? When did that even come out? Of Time. 1998. So that's kind of pushing it, but like everybody just like forever talks about how great Ocarina of Time is and like Legend of Zelda. I know some came out in the 2000s. Maybe I'll say like, you know, like now just for the sake of simplicity, I would say that like Dark Souls 1 is like that, you know, where people are saying that it's the best game ever, and it is. It's a great game, but people or From Software knows that people feel that way, so they're just going to buy the hell out of a remaster, even if it's kind of pointless, especially if you have it on PC. Especially if you have it on PC. They did add like quality of life, a couple of quality of life things, but like nothing major. Like I know you can use souls all at once now. You don't have to go through each one and like use it manually, which is nice. That's a nice little quality of life thing, but that's not enough to get me to spend probably like like $40 for it. That's not enough to get me to spend $40. So, I don't really think there's anything else really to talk about in terms of that. I guess we can get around to the viewer submissions. This one was submitted by Aced. Oh god, this game. I am like contradicting. You can watch this game right now on Twitch. It went live today on Steam. It's called Radical Heights. Oh boy. It's an interesting game. Let's use this to Radical. It's an interesting game for sure. I have pretty strong opinions about it. Just like here's the trailer. You don't know what this is. It's a battle royale game, made by the people who made Lawbreakers, as you can see by this title of the title of this Polygon article. This is like taking forever to Google search. It just doesn't look like, visually it looks awful. It looks rushed. It looks visually, it looks terrible. Does this show any gameplay? And of course this is a trailer, so it's just gonna show it in the best view anyway. It looks like it was made in like a couple of months to quickly cash in on the Fortnite PUBG success. 100%. I guess I can the one okay. I can let me really quickly explain how this works is you mostly get your gear based off of money. You get money from like killing people, and there's like there's ATMs as you can see here. See it says like offshore bank account. And you get money, and like any money that you keep, like at the end of a match, will go into your offshore bank account. You can go into the bank and you can withdraw some of that money. But like you also get money from like killing people that you can go to like these vending machines. If I can pause on time, you go to like these vending machines and you can like buy weapons. They're usually all the vending machines are in like one place. And I think that in and of itself was a little bit annoying because it's like, it's just people. It's just gonna be a clusterfuck, over vending machines. When I think I would, for me personally, I would rather just run around and pick up the guns rather than like pick up trash gear and then like converge at like vending machines to try and buy better guns. It just seems annoying because also I can't really unless I went out and like showed a stream, I couldn't really show this very well. The time that you get killed is so quick. What? Yeah. What? No, but the time that you died in this game is like super fucking fast. It's like, and I think it's like way too fast, especially because people are over here dying at the vending machines. There's a lot of alcohol here. That's whiskey. Um, yeah, it's like you die way too fast in this game, in my opinion. Um, and the combat is very. Zach will make fun of me for using this word. I think it's like very shallow. Just I don't. And this is just my first impressions after watching the game from like streams for a couple hours today while I was doing stuff. It's like even more shallow than Fortnite. It's it's just not engaging looking, and it looks like it is targeting like the lowest common denominator. Like they want Babs to be playing this game for sure. Just like I don't know, I just don't think this game looks very good, and it's early access. But can you? Is a game immune to criticism because it's early access? I don't know. I don't think so. Look how fucking jank this looks. It looks so fucking weird. I wonder if I can find some gameplay based off of having this in the. No, I'm not seeing anything in my recommendations here. Yeah, it's a BR cash grab 100%. It's free to play and it's early access. It looks like shit. Gameplay itself, like one thing that I will say that this game I think does very well is I like the way the zone shrinks. It's like on a grid, and each square gets like filled in rather than a circle closing in, and the square doesn't like, or the circle doesn't come in like as a circle. It just like picks squares that are no longer in the zone. Until eventually it's down to one square, but it's like not in like an obvious like shrink from like the outside in. It's like the square might be up in the top left, and then like everything around it is like being made into like a zone that you can't be in anymore. It could be a square like in the far left, and like it's really random for sure, but it's just different. It's just different enough to be like, okay, that's like an interesting concept. It's not just a circle that you're running away from. It's like squares that you're on a grid on. That's the map, and you have to check the map to see if your square that you're in got selected to be, in a death area or whatever. I think that's a neat idea. The vending machine idea and like the money idea is neat. It's just an application. It seems really annoying. Like I can totally see some like people just going in and like grinding money and then getting like a really good gun at the start of like a game in the future and then just like mowing people down at the start because everyone's just running around with like shit gear. And that's just like not fun. I want to be on an even playing field every time I start a battle royale game, because that's the point of a battle royale game, is like everyone starts with nothing and you have to run around and collect the resources that you need to be the last person left. Not like, you know, this guy has a huge advantage because in other games he's played, he was able to save up a bunch of money, and then that way he has like an amazingly like perfect start at the start of his game, and everyone else has shit gear, and it's just like, and you just like die instantly because some guy has like an amazing gun and you don't have shit. It just doesn't seem very well thought out. I don't know how you could balance that. I have no clue. I have no clue how you can balance that. But hey, it's free. If they, I might even give it a shot just to, you know, maybe it'll prove me wrong. The bikes, I think if they're jank as hell right now. They're super jank. I was watching Lyric play, and he was just like spinning. Like he would just be like riding the bike, and then he would just like spin, and then like he would just have to like whoa, calm down, like, or he would like go up mountains, like he'd be going like fucking vertical, like up like walls, and it was just really bizarre. But if they could, you know, tweak the bikes, I think that would be cool. You know, like riding around on a bike, especially if you kind of like made like the map, like the towns, like fucking like Tony Hawk, where everything is like skatable. Where, you know, make the towns where everything is like, you know, like a BMX dream, right? Where you can fucking ride up ramps, and there's ramps on the sides of buildings for no reason, and you know, you can do all sorts of wacky shit. I think that would be cool. You're going to see like a lot of like trick shots and stuff at this game if they were able to get that kind of figured out. I mean, yeah, it's rushed cash grab for sure, with some interesting concepts, but execution is looking rough. It's looking real rough. The game is hardly in beta. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like alpha or even pre-alpha, where just some buildings don't even have textures. Like there's like this weird, like they're trying to get like an old 80s television like film over the video, but instead it just looks bad. It just looks like it hurts your eyes. It's so staticky and like shitty looking. That's a perpetual problem with this studio. Yeah, the studio has some controversy around it, right? And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's just not, you know, it's not looking good right now. You know, whatever. The people will say it's early access, so you know, you can't do anything about it. You know, you can't bitch about it, but you know, I think that's why it's in early access, is so you can bitch about it. But I definitely think they were shooting. Well, okay, first of all, it's streamer bait, especially Dr. Disrespect bait. I guarantee you they had Dr. Disrespect somewhere in a meeting when they were making this game. Dr. Disrespect was brought up, because it literally is like, I'm not saying Dr. Disrespect owns like the 80s action hero aesthetic here, but like it's like streamer bait, especially Dr. Disrespect streamer bait. Especially. And I think it's also just like kitty bait. Like Fortnite is like normie tier now, which is nothing wrong with that, but like Fortnite has taken over Call of Duty slot as, you know, middle school kids, like middle school, high school kids, when they get home from school, it's Friday night, it's time to bust out the Mountain Dew and play Fortnite. It used to be like, let's play Call of Duty or let's play Grand Theft Auto. Now it's let's play Fortnite. Even at work, like my coworkers, they all play Fortnite together on their Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. It's just it has that status. I think Fortnite is actually making more money than like Candy Crush and shit. I'm fairly confident I saw that yesterday when I was just looking around at articles. Like it is, battle royale games are the new flavor of the month, or not flavor of the month. They are the flavor of the next couple of years. Just like how like COD shooters were for a bit, just like how survival games were for a bit, and fucking MOBAs. I think MOBAs was probably like the last genre like that everyone was making a game of. Dota, League, HOTS, fucking like that one mobile game. I can't remember the name. Vainglory, uh, Heroes of Newerth. There's oh god, I'm blanking. There's a lot of MOBAs that have lived and died. Like just fucking crashed and burned. There's so many. Every company had a MOBA of some sort coming out. Smite, fucking Paladins. No, not Paladins. Paragon. Like just oh my god, every company had a MOBA, and I think now battle royale games are going to be the next thing, where every company is going to come up with some sort of battle royale mode. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing like those shitty Android and Apple Store like Fortnite clones, where it's not called Fortnite, it's called like Fort Build, and then it has like a very similar icon. Like the Chinese people are like the Chinese like app developers are totally working on that right now. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a game called that right now, and it was like some shitty knockoff. That's how you know a genre is really hitting that mark. Is when they're getting shitty Android and Apple Store Chinese knockoffs, like Minecraft did. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about this game. In the last story, I don't really have much to say about this other than like like no one is surprised. No one is surprised that internet companies are pieces of shit. I briefly read over this. I didn't read every single word of it. I read most of it though. It was submitted by Space Prius in the Discord. That God, I got like hiccups. That CenturyLink was pretty much, I mean, as you see here, was forcing customers into arbitration. You know, basically charging people for things that they didn't have. And CenturyLink's argument was, we aren't responsible for this. All of our companies under us, we don't, those aren't our customers, those are the customers of the companies under us. Like, here's a list, like CenturyLink subsidiaries, right? Like Quest Corporation, like all these other, local internet providers. Like my internet provider is Spectrum, which is owned by Charter, right? So that would be like if I wanted to sue Charter because Spectrum was suing, or Spectrum was, doing illegal shit, and I was like, no, I don't want to, this is bad, I want to sue Charter. They would be like, no, you're not our customer, you're Spectrum's customer. So that's like the whole argument, and I don't really even have much to say other than like, I hope they get fucking destroyed in court and get made an example of. I mean, internet providers are like top tier like corporations they're like up there with a lot of like the shittiest companies, right? Like Bank of America, fucking like the Bank of America, like, is pretty shitty. Like the cell phone companies, which are also a lot of the internet companies, are pretty shitty. Like Viacom, like a lot of these like super fucking greedy like companies. They're up there with them, and I hope that they get made an example of. It's bold, right? It's really fucking bold. I wonder if CenturyLink itself is like dying, and that this is why they're just like scrapping every cent that they can, um, to just try and stay up. I don't know. I used to have CenturyLink back when I was like 10, but we switched, and I've never had a problem with my internet provider. Not anything major. But yeah, like it's a whole it's a lot of like semantics that go along with this. I just hope that they actually like get in trouble for it. So yeah, get fucked CenturyLink. I hope that let's hope they get fucked. I don't know how this is going to stand up very well. I'm not huge into law, so I don't know very well, but I do find it